Hi everybody, it's Chrissy Sawyer here again. I have a couple of new subs. Hello new subscribers. I can see that you're private subs, but it's really grand to have you here. You're very, very welcome. How are you? What on earth is happening? Can you believe these times? I am in a constant state of childlike awe at what I'm witnessing. And what I'm really noticing at the moment is synchronicity has gone live. Like, for example, I had a strangely prophetic dream, which I won't share. And there's probably only one person on the planet that I would trust to help me explore this dream. And so got in touch and they held space while I spoke into the dream and followed what it was bringing, explored it. And then at the very end, they said, I've had the same dream. So I'm sharing that with you because synchronicity might get a bit weird. Like, if you thought it was weird to begin with, it's going to go off the scale because there are so many alignments and awakenings happening. There's so much of us coming home to be embodied and actualized and lived through, that we're finding our counterpart in others, our soul reflection, if you like, our echo in this chamber that we call 4D reality, 3D reality. Okay. So yeah, it's all spectacularly weird at the moment, and I'm just loving this adventure. It's such a wild adventure. I still can't believe, knowing the mechanics of incarnation, that I even got here. And then I can, and both are true. Anyway, I could waffle on because I'm very excited. I'm really excited about December and all that it's going to bring. And I was pondering, when did I do my last video? I don't know, last week sometime. And I did the gaslighting video, didn't I? And then I did the medicine wheel video. And since I made the medicine wheel video, which isn't easy to say, I've been really entrenched in my own medicine wheel, having to process for 2 or 3 days straight this field called gaslighting. And I sensed that there would be a follow-up video, and I'm also sensing that I must tread carefully. And I'm also following my personal truth that actually I don't really want to get involved in this, but I do want to create a container for transformation. So I've done a lot of processing. I mean, a lot of processing with this field called gaslighting, and it is so pervasive. It's pervasive. It's everywhere. Okay. It's internal, it's imposter syndrome. It's external, and it comes through class. I'm just going to read my notes out, and I'm not going to go into this because I've managed to boil it down and distill it into something that I trust is concise and meaningful. Okay. Because we're going to bounce forward from here. Okay. So yeah, in the internal, we've got imposter, trickster energy, shady part of us that keeps holding us back, keeps holding us back, keeps holding us back. External, we've got class, race, religion, government, education, consumerism. Okay, they all create levels of I belong, I don't belong. I feel safe, I don't feel safe. Okay. And then one of the big pieces of work I did was with an entangled timeline. So we'd got 2 timelines which were really heavily entangled, like it was like a double helix. That's what I was shown. And they were the church and the crown. Okay. And then under that, banks. Yeah, I'm not going to talk into that. Government and military. Okay. Gaslighting. So I've boiled it down into something I feel is more useful, which is gaslighting is anything that diminishes your belief in your beauty, your capability, and your personal power. Anything which sets you on a path driven by lack and want. Okay. So this is the wounding of the self-esteem. I don't believe the self-worth can ever really be wounded. It just gets layered up. But every time I take a client to the moment before the first wounding, the energy that comes up is pure. It's higher heart energy, hasn't been damaged. It's just been sat there waiting. So anything really which damages the self, the joy, the abundance, the purity, the bliss state, gaslighting. Why am I telling you this? I'm sharing this because it's a major foundational platform on which we stand, which is about to fall. It's like the hidden pandemic. And like I say, when I really wrap my mind around how colossal this beast is, I coined it, the hidden pandemic is gaslighting. And so I wanted to bring this to you because we are now in off-Yukon energy. Okay, so I believe the sun, let me check my notes, I don't want to steer you a bum steer. Yeah, the sun moves into Ophiuchus this week, is it today? And Ophiuchus is the actualized, individuated, wholly embodied self, masculine, feminine. It is the archetype of the healer, okay? And that energy has the sun shining on it at the moment, today. So there is no better time. Yeah. So there's work to be done in this renewal. Let's imagine this as the first piece of work. Can you even imagine a life without gaslighting? Can you even imagine a life where there is no single thread in you that's looking over their shoulder? Where there isn't a molecule in you that cares more about that than it does about this? Can you imagine that life? Where this, living from the inside out, becomes the way, becomes the new earth. Yes. I'm being asked to remind you there are strange things going on in the physical. New earth, I am earth, okay? I'm a skin, flesh and bone. And whilst working on this gaslighting thing, I woke up with a sudden, untriggered as in I hadn't done any heavy lifting, back injury. And it's a radial pain, so I can't quite locate where it's coming from, but it's kind of center. And we don't exist exclusively of our counterparts, so the mental, emotional, and physical run together to create the whole. So the work I was doing has somehow caused this. I can feel it now, and right now it's at the back of the dantian point, which is just below the belly button. So it's the center of me. So the center of my world is being recoded, and that's going to affect me in the physical. And just sudden, like, weirdness, like, why is that hurt? Why is my thumb suddenly hurting? Why is my neck suddenly hurting? Just this, just so much physical pain that hasn't been triggered by I'm moving furniture around like I often do, like a lunatic. So I just want to put that out there because it's new codings and it hurts a little bit. Right. So the example I'm going to give you of gaslighting in the physical, right? So this is the lovely description. And in the physical, so in a previous life, I used to work as a business trainer. And one of the projects I was given was to deliver a training program to about 500 contractors and subcontractors, employees and subcontractors. And it was linked to the power industry, and it was Ofgem driven, so it had to be done. And it was about human behavior, improving human behavior. Okay. And so one of the exercises I used to do was how the mind affects the physical. So out of the audience, I had a wonderful volunteer, great big strapping bloke, 6'3", built like a rugby player. And I said to him, right, we're going to play with energy and the mind. Okay, I said, are you open and willing? You will not be hurt. Well, you will not be irretrievably hurt, but you will be temporarily hurt. Anyway, he was game. So, like a drill sergeant, I verbally destroyed this man. Okay. And I told him he couldn't. I told him how crap he was. I told him about his poor relationships, just affected him. Remember, words are wishes and curses. Okay. That's how powerful we are as human beings. So I verbally destroyed him. And I said, now would you be kind enough to hold out your left arm, please? And he held out his left arm. And I grabbed the end of his arm and I pulled it straight down. I said, great, okay. I said, go for a walk around the room, come back, shake it off, come back. And then I stood in front of him and I said, I told him everything that was wonderful about him. I reflected his joy and his humor. He was a funny guy. And I told him about the positive effect he has on his colleagues and what lovely energy he has and what a powerful human being he was. I said, now would you be kind enough to hold out your left arm? I swung off that arm. I got my feet off the floor and he took all of my weight. Okay. So if words have the power to diminish joy and to affect the physical, then do they also have the power to affect the immune system, to shut down the heart, to increase fear? That's all I'm saying. I did that using nothing but words. That's what we've been taught. Okay, so here comes the challenge. 2112 is going to be a slightly auspicious date. My next video is going to be about 2112, but I want this separate from that. "2112 is going to offer you radically different ways to see the same thing. I was talking to some of my peers the other day, and I was hesitant to bring in some certain material. but I brought it in anyway. And it was kind of a question. I was phrasing a question, a systemic question. And they both responded in fear, which was what I was suspecting might happen. And yeah, my expectations could have affected that. Responded in fear, which puzzled me, because when we respond in fear, what are we basing that on? Are we basing that on an experience or a belief? And what it reflected back to me was that part of us that is in victim mentality, that this was done to me. So what we were talking about was the hijacking of the psyche to control a species, you know? And gaslighting is one of the major machines that does that. And so we can meet it in fear, absolutely. And what if, you know, because we weren't around. Well, we have no way of getting back to those times when the darkness came onto the planet. Okay, it's a story. And we're all storytellers. So is there another story we can tell? Is there a story we can tell about? Yeah, right. For the last 2 or 3 days, I've got my dad's voice in my head. And my dad is a very wise man. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again because it bears repeating. Sweetheart, to taste the honey, you have to bite the lemon. Okay. So what he's saying to me is, before you can learn the right way of doing something, go and learn the wrong way so that you know the difference. Okay. So we live in duality. 2112 is a mirror. It's going to give me the duality. It's going to give you the dual. Let's call it the polarity. Okay. Right and wrong. There's a pole. It's going to give you that. Can we bring that together? And can we make new eggs? New. One of my recent vision was a cosmic egg. There are no two opposites that cannot be reconciled. We just have to be strong enough to hold both. Okay. We might know this as cognitive dissonance, but how can we bring them together into the same room and turn the heat up by helping them to walk towards one another and see their opposite in one another? So could another story be, in order for us to come here and be the architects of the light and create worlds and universes, would it be useful if we did the first few centuries with training wheels on? If we could learn about the depths of depravity that we are capable of exploring, if we learned about the greatest injury that we can do to self, other, planet, cosmos, to learn about that first. And then what if 21, 12, 20, we can create a tipping point for people to make their own minds up? Because there's no forced action here, it's all choice. It's what the soul has come here to do. It's what drives us. Okay, supported by the heart and the mind and the body. So 2112 offers you new ways to see the same thing. You can stay in the old narrative, but how's that working out for you? Seriously. Is it helping you grow? Does it enrich you? I used that word last week before, whenever. Does it enrich you? Does it lift you up? Does it hold you in your weirdness, or does it judge you and gaslight you? Diminish you to keep you small? Or have we done it to ourselves to stay hidden until now? Don't know. How many stories can you come up with? Please insert stories below, because I bet we could find hundreds of permutations of a world that's been, finish that sentence. Okay, so I guess there's kind of a really big flashing light that says something like, what truth are you holding on to? It's that. What truth are you holding on to? And just check your face and see if there's any blinkers still on. And, you know, can you peel those blinkers back? In fact, fuck it, can you take them off? Can you take them off? And this comes back to, can you be in the not knowing? Okay. I feel so excited. I'm knackered because I haven't slept properly in, I don't know, weeks. I'm so tired. But lots and lots of rest, lots and lots of rest. Okay, I want to pull a few cards. Let's just pull a few cards. Because these are screaming at me today. Sacred Earth Oracle. You really are talking to me today, aren't you? They're not great flippers, these cards. They tend to just kind of shuffle on and on. And today it's like... Okay. What did I just say? They don't normally flip. They normally. Listen to the patterns, okay? So I have just imposed a pattern onto these cards, okay? That's my energy is limiting. They normally don't flip, okay? How about, let's see what they do today. Let's see what they want to do today or how they want to behave today. It's that holding in the moment, holding in the moment. Okay, so the first two out, thank you. I love these cards. Do one at a card, one at a card, one at a card. Even in this card, I see a mirror. So I see the very obvious. This is kind of the self-esteem. This is how the personality projects itself into the world. It's the part of ourselves that we want others to see. And she's colourful and her hair's done and she looks pleasing and beautiful. And down here is her naked self, still asleep, under the water, just breathing. And there's a question in here for me about what are we willing to let slip away? Are there any aspects of ourselves that maybe we don't want to carry forward? Let's imagine 2112 is another new year. Feels like another new year. So what do we want to let go of? Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm being reminded of, no, what's going to come in the next video? Hold your horses. I'll say it now. Clearly I'm going to forget. I'm sorry for that little waffle. I'm just having a conversation with something that's not here. The 2112 video, which I'm going to make next, is coming to you before the total eclipse on the 14th. Because my inner guidance is saying, if we're new moon total eclipse, then that is a really powerful death and rebirth right there. I haven't done the numerology for it, actually. But I'll have to do the numbers for that. So I'm guided to bring you the 2112 video before the 1412, if I even do a 1412, because I think the 2112 is going to inform the big wishes that we have full permission slips to make on the 14th of the 12th. This is really dream it big, really, really go big. And by big, I don't mean a bigger house, a bigger car. I mean out there. Outlandish. Are you fucking kidding me? That kind of, really? So yeah, I'm going to do 21:12 first, and then if I'm moved to, and for me, there's no big end. I haven't really felt into 14:12 yet, so I may not make that, but let's see. Okay, happy? Happy? Surface. Yeah, so for me, there's a question about, because this is the hidden self waiting to rise, but it's also part of the ghost self. You know, it's part of a sad story that follows us around. And are we really going to take that into this birthing, where we exit the birth canal that we've been in for? And can we flip this and make that the part that gets projected? What if we stand that naked in our emotions, in our beliefs, in our story? What if we can stand that naked in the world? It hasn't been easy this far. You know, as I track my lineage back, oh my Lord, have I been wounded and hunted and beheaded and drowned and decapitated? All of those. All of those. Even in this lifetime, the thing I get into trouble the most for is speaking the truth where it doesn't want to be heard. So can I come up with another story for that and turn that into a superpower rather than something that historically I've feared? Because it's all coming back online. I'm witnessing so much magic coming back online for people, friends, family, clients. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So, what are you taking forward and what are you letting go of? And which part of yourself are you now going to project into this new world? Are we going to let that rise? The hidden self. Please no, I don't want this. I'm going to do it. Oh my gosh. I've got two videos bleeding into one here. So 21:12 is bringing in a lot of 12th house energy. This is 12th house. 12th house. Spine. What is hidden? Spine. Pain. I have no idea where this channel's going to go. I really have no idea. Okay. Let's turn this glare down. So for me, what this is speaking into, this kind of slight nervousness that it's making me feel. And the nervousness is about, yeah, but Chrissy, if I kind of challenge this part of myself, you know, that always looks pretty and can, well, kind of deceive, really, because we, you know, part of our programming is visual recognition, supported by narcissism, which is another massive paradigm on this planet. Narcissism wants stuff to be beautiful. Okay, so when we defer to being visually pleasing, we have to tell lies. We have to kind of hide that deeper part, that raw, visceral, deeper part of us that maybe doesn't even match this anymore. And so this deeper part, so this isn't really dependable because she's not fully telling the truth, or he, this is not gender based, you know. When we're deferring to a system that wants us a certain kind of way, and all the paradigms that I've listed, church, crown, banks, government, military, education, consumerism, all of those machines that want us to be some kind of way that we respond to, react to, sorry, responding is a different thing, then are we truly dependable? Is our story from the heart, from the soul, dependable, or am I telling you what you want to hear? Yes, right. So I'm in the car park. I was getting into my car to go into town at the weekend. And one of my neighbours comes out. And, you know, we say hi. And he walks past me. And then he doubles back and he comes back and says, is the puppy too noisy for you? And I looked at him and I went, oh, it's you. And that was my truth. Oh, it's you. I'd heard a puppy, but I thought it was coming from down the street. It's so damn loud. And then I witnessed him go through the motions of the program. It was fascinating. First, he started apologizing, which I didn't understand. He's apologizing for something. Yeah. So he moved to apologizing. Oh, God, I'm really sorry. And I'm just like, witnessing. And then he moved to justifying. Only the older dog's dying and the younger dog needs a playmate. Mm-hmm. So he's justifying. And then he moved into over-promising and over-pleasing. We'll train the puppy much quicker for you. For me? Is this about me? And I really noticed how this man was going to do everything in his power not to disappoint me. We don't even know each other. You know, the neighbours that say hi, and he's probably a lovely guy. But that behaviour didn't allow me, I took it, but it didn't want to allow me to be pissed off. It wanted to fix it and mend it and solve it. Don't feel this way. Oh, don't cry. How many times have you heard that? Oh, don't cry. These are patterns of engineered behaviour. It's an engineered behaviour that will not allow autonomy. Okay. It's an engineered behaviour that entangles people in drama. You've heard me talk about drama custody. Nobody can give me their drama unless I give them permission, unless I go, gimme. I want to feed from that drama. No. I didn't get involved in his drama. I only said 2 words and goodbye. 3 words, that's all I said. Oh, it's you. Sorry, 4 words. Oh, it's you. And I stayed in the truth of where I was, which was, oh, it's you. That was my truth. I didn't defer to politeness or courtesy, because what he thinks of me is none of my business. The dog is disturbing. I work from home. I kind of need it quiet, you know? So listen for the patterns of behavior. Listen inside, or when you hear yourself responding in lack and want. Okay. You know, it was my birthday recently. My son said something to me which really made me go, oh. He said, I didn't know what to get you because you're so hard to buy for. I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, because you're so content and you don't fucking want anything. Oh. Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. That's really surprising. And he's right. Yeah, there are things I want. There are things I want, of course, but I understand what that means. So, yeah, listen for the patterns of that. So that's called codependency. He needs my approval. So he was giving more and more and more. And we've been doing this for such a long time, and it's so depleting to our energy system, Facebook. So I am 7 days post Facebook exodus. How does it feel? Surprising. I haven't missed it. It's surprising me because what I've noticed is a recouping of energy. I didn't expect this. I'm standing in the kitchen, suddenly aware of the part of my mind that kept constantly going to Facebook. I wasn't even aware of, had come back. I had more hard drive, more RAM to work with, and I really noticed that. And then I started playing with the concept of, I wonder what life without any social media would look like, feel like, be like. And I'm still curious about that. Like I say, I have no idea what's going to happen with this channel. I don't know. So I'm going to wrap it up there because I could wax lyrical about this. I was doing a meditation the other day and talk about hidden in plain sight. That which guides me, which is me, aspects of me, said, do you not see it yet? And I said, what do I not see? You spent your whole life studying human behavior. It's what you came here to do. I'm so obtuse. Sometimes I'm so dumb. Dull. I have. I spent my whole life studying human behavior. So, from this fascinated bunny, very fascinated bunny, I'm going to leave you with my love and my curiosity and my blinders off, and anything can happen. And I'm going to ponder the 2112 video, which I'll get out to you as soon as I can. So yeah, listen for the patterns, challenge them. Can you flip the whole thing on its head? Can you flip the whole world and everything you believe on its head and come up with a different story? Okay. What's on the surface and what's truly dependable? Where's the depth of you? It's exciting. We're building it. We're building it. Right, I'm off ski. Take care, ski. And I will see you soon, ski. That's a love. Bye.